So I would like to take a little bit of time to show you how to foam roll your hips, more specifically your posterior hip. When you use this, I want you to think about like a self-massage. Kind of get into those areas of the body that might become limited, that you can't really massage on your own. It wouldn't be easy to get to. But I also want you to think about hydration, like how you hydrate a tissue would be to bring flow to it, blood flow, flow of oxygen and fluids to it, so that it can function optimally. One of the big things with foam rolling is that you can have an area of a body like the butt where some of the tissues move really well and other ones not so much. And we can try and stretch, and either you might run into the fact that you get like, if you try and stretch your hip and you get a pinching in your groin, or you just don't really feel like a good stretch, you may just have the inability to lengthen those specific tissues to get the range of motion around the joint. So what we're going to do is we're going to foam roll through the posterior hip. You're just going to have a seat on it just like so. And what you want to do is, if you want to focus on your right side, you're going to cross your right leg over your left. Ideally, your foot is flat on the ground so you're stable. This hand's going to be down on the ground. I'm going to use this arm to hug my body right here. I'm going to hug my leg into my body. That's going to thin out the tissues in the back so we can get to some of those deeper structures. So again, I'm just going to pull that in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay very close to my tailbone, and I'm going to ride from the bottom of the tailbone all the way up toward the top of my pelvis. And I'm just going to do that a few times. I'm really thinking about where those hot spots are. You know, when you roll over, you're like, oh gosh, like I've got one right here. So I'm just going to kind of nice and easily roll through this about 12 times. That's going to be our magic number. It's going to be slow and controlled. I'm just going to pulse through that area, and we're going to oxygenate that area and bring other flow to it. From there, what I want to do is now I want to start to search more of my hips. So I'm going to actually change my angle. I'm going to roll a little bit. I'm going to go to the top of the hip. And then again, I'm going to slide all the way down. I'm going to have you do about 3 searches up and down through the hip along this one strip. And then wherever those hot spots are, that's where you're going to spend the time. Again, about 12 repetitions just in that hot spot, and move on. From there, I'm going to just repeat. I'm going to roll a little bit more, and I'm going to try it again. 3 times through, find the hot spots, 6 to 12 repetitions in the area that feels sore or stiff. If you do this on a regular basis and make this part of your routine, you should notice a very dramatic improvement in the comfort when you're rolling on it, and then more importantly in the performance when you're actually using that range of motion.